A pastor in South Carolina goes on stage and makes a crazy statement towards the end of his service. And it has the pastor's extended family extremely skeptical. Okay, we got to get into this story. So this is trending on Twitter, trending on TikTok. It says this is a preacher who's being accused of allegedly unaliving his wife, Micah Miller. And all signs are pointing to him or his mistress doing it. Listen to what he says at 52 seconds. What his goals are as a young, based Christian man. This is what many of the Christian men of today think of all you self-proclaimed trad wives. Okay, so I found this extremely problematic, okay? And I don't think this is about trad wives or anything like that.
The right words are not, you hurt me, you hurt me, you hurt me, you hurt. That's not the right words. Like, be more mature than that. I think this verse is for the ladies. Because I've never had a man come to me and say, you know, so-and-so hurt my feelings and I just need to tell you all about it. No man's ever done that. Can I tell you everything you did? No man's ever done that. Men, we either just don't talk about it or we punch you
To be fair, I've had men say stuff like this all the time.
in the face and then we're friends afterwards.
No, not all the time, over the years.
Last year, you know, my wife, they went to Africa, had a wonderful trip, amazing trip, and she came back with the idea to start a school in Africa, and 6 weeks ago, she goes in the hospital, gets out, and just leaves, just completely leaves me, leaves everything, drains the bank account, and goes. And guess what? While you're talking bad about me out there, I'm building a school in Africa for over 100 kids to be able to be fed. I'm just doing that. It's always about what I'm preaching about. God is so good to do that every single time. One day I'm preaching about getting rich, strong, healthy, and finding a hot wife that loves Jesus. That's what I'm going to do. Weird.
Yikes. Yikes. Someone put together this compilation of all these receipts. Oh my gosh.
There's a really weird idea that a lot of women have. It's so weird that women have this. Christian women think, well, I need somebody to talk to about these people that hurt me. I need somebody to talk to. Oh, you just want to talk about somebody else. That's a demon actually right there. When my wife went in the hospital, I looked at her phone and I counted over the past 2 years, 18 people who had texted her and said, if you ever want to talk about your husband, you can talk to me and say anything and I'll keep it confidential. Well, if you could go back in time, you would have said this. Or if I see them again, I'm going to say that. And it starts festering and gets bigger and bigger. By the time you're done, you want to shoot them with a bazooka, right? And all they said was,
yeah. So his wife was found deleted. Okay.
Did you intentionally wear those shoes with that dress? Oh, get rid of, you know.
Back on this Monday morning, authorities are investigating the death of a South Carolina pastor's wife after her body was found in a state park about a week ago. Pastor John Paul Miller told his congregation that his wife, 30-year-old Micah, took her own life after struggling with mental illness. But her friends and family say otherwise and want police to, quote, deeply investigate what happened. More than 100 people rallying outside John Paul's church in Myrtle Beach, demanding justice for Micah. This happened on Sunday.
Wow.
Kelsey Kernstein has been digging into the story. Kelsey, some pretty startling court documents revealing what may have happened just before Micah died.
Yeah, hey there, Hannah. They really are startling. So according to reports, just days before she died, she filed multiple times for illegal separation from her husband. We're also learning that she even filed for divorce back in October. Then Micah posted on Facebook about abuse just weeks ago. The video offers advice for people who may be in an abusive relationship. And some believe that this video is proof that Micah was in one herself.
God hates divorce. But why? According to everybody I've asked and the scriptures that I've found, it's because it hurts people. But does abuse hurt people? How do you think God feels about that?
So according to the police report, 30-year-old Micah Miller died on April 27th. We know that her body was found in Lumber River State Park in North Carolina. That is just about an hour away from where the Millers live in Myrtle Beach. Just days after she died, her husband, Pastor John Paul Miller, told his parishioners that she had taken her own life and blamed it on her years of mental health struggles. However, police say they are still investigating how Micah died.
I got a call late last night. My wife has passed away. Yeah, it was self-induced, and it was up in North Carolina. Y'all pray for me and my kids and everybody. And y'all knew that she wasn't well mentally, and that she needed her medicine that was hard to get to her.
And this is interesting, too. A Facebook group called Justice for Micah pointed out a statement from her obituary that they believe was odd. It reads, she would praise her husband after every church service, telling him he was the best preacher in the world, in parentheses, even if it wasn't true. She also told him he was the funniest preacher in the world, in parentheses, even if that wasn't true either.
This is sus.
We also know on Sunday, dozens of people came together in Myrtle Beach and they gathered outside the church to rally for Micah and send a message to her husband. Micah's sister also telling her friends on social media not to listen to false stories being shared about Micah. And a friend of Micah is also saying that she spoke to Micah multiple times a week before she died and that her final text to her on Friday night was not a woman about to die, but a woman making plans to live. We have also reached out to John Paul Miller's church for comment, and we were told that now is not a good time to interview him. Hannah?
Kelsey Kernstein, so many unanswered questions. Thank you so much. Thanks for.
Yeah, this is strange. I want to find the actual clip. This is how he came to this announcement to the church. It's very bizarre.
Their phone rings. But the way they do it 300 years now, they just do this. Their phone rings and they just put up their ear.
This is at the end of his message.
What is it? And it's the answer to their miracle. Whatever the results of the test came back. We were so sorry, we got it wrong. You don't have cancer. Or the lottery. You just won the lottery. Whatever it is going through. And your relative says, God, this is amazing. Why would you do this for me? And God says, I love you. But I didn't do this for you. You see, 300 years ago, your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents were listening to this tall, charming, humble pastor. And he told them that if they'll give their life to Christ, that God won't just take care of them, he'll take care of the ones that come after him. And so I love you, but I didn't heal you for your sake. I did it because the promise I made to them 300 years ago. That's what I want you to leave here with. Okay, that's it. Amen.
Okay, and then watch this. Watch this segue.
We're not going to do an altar call today. Instead, I'm going to have you stand up, and I'm going to make an announcement. And after the announcement, I'm going to ask that you leave church quietly and don't talk about the announcement here in the building, please, if you can. So y'all can stand to your feet. Before I make the announcement, I also want to say that my request to you is that you will continue to come to church and serve and give for the next little bit. 'Cause I don't want to I'm taking a little bit of a break, and I don't want to have to worry about the church. My break may be a few days, a few weeks. I don't know. I got a call late last night. My wife has passed away. And yeah, it was self-induced, and it was up in North Carolina. And we're going to have a funeral for her next Sunday here at 3 p.m. And so it's all I can, I'm just kind of going on adrenaline right now. So y'all pray for me and my kids and everybody. And y'all knew that she wasn't well mentally, and that she needed her medicine that was hard to get to her. And so I'm sure there'll be more details to come. But just keep our family in your prayers. And I'm going to let Pastor Randall, my bishop, he can pray.
That was bizarre, to say the least. To make that announcement that way, I don't know. Maybe his story is true, and she did have mental illness. It wouldn't be the first time a pastor's wife has done this, but it is super, super sus. And at the very least, it's bizarre that he preached an entire message and gave this whole spiel about God blessing your descendants down the road. And of course, her friends
found dead at a state park in North Carolina, about an hour north of where she lived in Myrtle Beach. Authorities opening an investigation into her death, but saying the community is not in danger.
She was probably the greatest wife anyone could ask for.
Her husband, a pastor at a local church, announcing her death after preaching last week, saying it was self-induced. Authorities have not confirmed or released a cause of death. Some community members protesting outside the church Sunday. This as Micah's friends and family say they don't think she took her own life.
We were talking about her coming to church Sunday, getting her some help with her car payment, just life stuff, just her moving forward.
Clark saying Micah was planning to get a divorce. She had filed for divorce once before in October 2023. That case consensually dismissed in February. In March, Micah posting, "Please share this with anyone struggling with leaving a dangerous situation."
I mean, listen, I don't know. That's just not a good look. I'm saying I don't think it was a good look for this man to be up there preaching and then announcing it in the middle of a message. I think that was really, really weird and just not smart, in my opinion. Now, I will say that anyone who is in current ministry going through something like this should probably take a break. Let's just say his narrative is true. She had a mental health illness. She was going through it. Just say it's all her fault. Let's hypothetically. Let's say it's all her fault. Let's say it's all her fault. For this dude to remain in the pulpit and continue preaching, clearly there's other people in the church that can step up and lead as he's in the middle of all this. I think there's some power imbalance. I think there's some power imbalance. Yeah, you don't go through a separation and divorce and just stay in the pulpit and stay preaching. That to me is a red flag. Off the top, that's a red flag. Red flag number 2 is that he announced it at the end of he preached a whole sermon like a normal Sunday, and then at the end announced that. That was bizarre. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Comment down below and let me know what you think. And be sure to check out this video that YouTube is recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.